Morning already, Teddy. Oh, hello everyone. I've just woken up. I've been cuddling my teddy bear. Oh, Teddy? Why are there all these bricks at the bottom of my bed? I wonder how they got there. Was that anything to do with you? I bet it was, you know. I've got a story where something like that happens. I think I'll tell it to Teddy and you might like to listen too. It's called One Ted Falls Out of Bed. So this is the story, One Ted Falls Out of Bed. It's got really lovely pictures by Anna Currey, and Anna's going to be doing some drawing for you a bit later on. So, are you ready for the story, Teddy? Here we go then. One Ted falls out of bed. He tugs and pulls the bedclothes, but 2 eyes are tight shut. He jumps and shouts and makes a fuss till 3 mice say, "Play with us." They roar around in 4 fast cars, boom, boom, boom. Then sit and gaze at 5 bright stars. They sip some tea with 6 kind dolls and have a fight with 7 trolls. They take a trip with 8 balloons to where 9 frogs are playing tunes. But one Ted is missing bed. Cheer up, bear, build a stair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red bricks. Ted is at the very top when 10 bricks crash, 9 frogs hop, and 8 balloons go bang, snap, pop. 7 trolls start running riot. 6 dolls whisper, "Shh, be quiet." 5 stars shine as bright as day. 4 cars hoot and roar away. 3 mice scamper off to hide. 2 eyes open wide. And one Ted is back in bed. Did you enjoy that story then, Teddy? I think he did. And I think that maybe explains why all these bricks were at the bottom of my bed last night. Does that explain it, Teddy? I think he must have fallen out of bed and he must have tried to get in by building a staircase, just like the Teddy in the book. Let's see if we can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whoops, 8, 9, 10 red bricks. They're not all red actually, are they, Teddy? No. And then you tried to climb up the staircase, is that right? But it was all wobbly and it all fell down. That must be what happened, and then I must have woken up with all the noise and hauled you back into bed. Right, that explains it then, doesn't it? Well, now you're going to meet Anna Currey, the illustrator who did the pictures for One Ted Falls Out of Bed.
Thank you, Julia, and hello everyone. Today we're going to draw Ted after he's had rather a big nighttime adventure. We're going to start with his head. He's going to be sitting down relaxing because he's quite tired. We're going to begin with his head, and it's made of cloth, so he's got a little seam down the middle. Nice little nose here, 2 little eyes. There we are. And he's going to be sitting down here having a rest. And again we have the seam that goes down over his tummy as his tummy bulges a little, and he's quite a well-loved teddy bear, so he's a bit saggy in the middle. And here we are, we have his legs sticking out. Little velvet paws at the end. And I think I'm going to give him a blue balloon. Just a nice big balloon here, and we'll paint him up then. Now we want to keep the pencil lines quite loose, not too tight and not hard. And I'm going to first do the lines in ballpoint pen. That means we don't have to wait for the paint to dry before we put the lines on him, because ballpoint pen doesn't run, which is a great thing when you put water on top. Here we are, and his balloon. And at the end, after he's been painted up, and when all the paint is dry, then you can rub out the pencil lines, and that's when he will really come to life. And you just try and keep the lines nice and strong, but not too hard. And I shall put a little underlay of yellow ochre paint. And we'll give him a blue balloon. I'm going to put quite a lot of paint on that balloon and make sure it goes nice and dark at the bottom, the way balloons do. There. And I think I'll give him, he's going to be sitting on the ground. So we'll just put some, there he is. At this point we have to wait for the paint to dry, and then we'll put the dark brown on top. Now I'm going to put, that's completely dry now, you see, no, it's not wet at all, so that means I can put a top layer of dark brown paint on. And I think of Teddy as having been made of velvet. I think he was a velvet teddy bear. And I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute. We'll just I'll add to the balloon. And when it's a bit drier, then I'll add a bit more paint. I want to try and keep him to look slightly velvety. So we go over his tummy, keeping him look slightly velvety, like that. Just slightly. Not entirely even. A bit more yellowy orange on his toes. And I think that's it. There he is. I'd like to put, there we are. I'm just adding a little bit more, the final layer of brown paint. Yeah. And then I think we've nearly got one Ted finished. Okay. I think I'm just going to put a tiny bit of yellow sitting down here, so that he's sitting on the ground. Yeah. Just strengthening up the brown a little, because he's a dark brown velvet. There we go. And oh, I know. I think I might give him some darker eyes. A bit of that, a little bit of this. Pop him in his nice dark brown eyes. And that's the finishing touch always with my animals. I like to give them a little bit dark eyes. And here we are, Ted having a little rest. Thank you everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Anna. And of course, One Ted isn't the only book that Anna and I have done together. We did one called Rosie's Hat, and not that long ago there was this one, The Teeny Weeny Genie, and we did a programme about that on the Julia Donaldson and Friends series, which you might like to go back and watch. Well, next week is a very different kind of book. It's not a story, it's going to be some outdoor activities, because this book, the Gruffalo and Friends outdoor activity book, has just come out, and it's full of ideas for things to do and make based on my books with Axel Scheffler. So I do hope to see you then. Goodbye.